Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. European leaders to convene for emergency Ukraine summit in Paris. US weighs Putin's motives, says Ukraine, Europe will be part of real peace talks. West Asia is a hub of hectic parleys ahead of key peace talks. Zelensky reaches UAE, US Middle East envoy and NSA Waltz set to depart for Saudi Arabia. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu signals moving ahead with Trump's idea to transfer Palestinians from Gaza. And in BAFTA Awards, Conclave scores Best Film as The Brutalist ties with 4 wins and Mickey Madison surprises in the leading actress. French President Emmanuel Macron will host European leaders, including Britain's Prime Minister, on Monday for an emergency summit on the Ukraine conflict. The French presidency said on Sunday Macron had called for the consultation talks and that they would address the tumultuous change in the US approach to Ukraine and the attendant risks to the security of the European continent. Others at the summit meeting will be German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa from the European Union. Meanwhile, Macron held a phone call on Sunday with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, in which Macron discussed Saudi Arabia's role in any peace deal for Ukraine and how Europe should play a key part in this. In a major diplomatic development, US President Donald Trump has indicated that he could meet Russian President Vladimir Putin very soon. However, no official date has been set for the meeting. This comes as US Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrives in Riyadh, leading a high-level delegation for talks with Russian officials. We get your detailed report.
US President Donald Trump said Sunday he could meet very soon with Vladimir Putin, adding he believes his Russian counterpart genuinely wants to stop fighting in Ukraine. This was after Secretary of State Marco Rubio sought to play down expectations of upcoming high-level talks in Riyadh on ending the conflict.
On your timing of your meeting with Putin in Saudi Arabia?
No, no time set, but it could be very soon.
Like this month?
Well, it'll be soon. We'll see what happens. But they're meeting right now, and that's more. I mean, this should have been done 4 years ago, 3 years ago, before it started.
Rubio leads a high-level American delegation at the discussions with Russian officials in Saudi Arabia's capital in the coming days. Rubio further sought to assuage European and Ukrainian fear that they would be shut off from the peace negotiations. He said Ukraine and Europe would be part of any real negotiations. Rubio gave enough hints to suggest that the US talks with Russia were preliminary in nature and were a chance to in fact judge if Russian President Vladimir Putin is indeed serious about peace. Trump said his team has been speaking long and hard with Russian officials. Trump held a call with Putin on Wednesday.
I think he wants to stop fighting. I see that. We spoke long and hard. Steve Witkoff was with him for a very extended period, like about 3 hours. I think he wants to stop fighting.
Trump further added that Zelensky would be involved in the conversations to end the conflict.
Do you expect Zelensky to be involved in these conversations? What will his role be?
I do. He will be involved, yes.
European leaders have been left shocked and stumped by the US president's moves on Ukraine, Russia, and European defense in recent days. They fear Trump will attempt to ink a Ukraine peace deal that undermines broader European continental security. Bureau Report, DD India.
Top US diplomat Marco Rubio and Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu present a united front on their approach to Hamas and Iran as the new Secretary of State visits the Middle East for the first time. Netanyahu has vowed to finish the job against Iran with the support of US President Donald Trump. Here's a report. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, praising Trump as Israel's greatest ally. They discussed countering Iran and achieving objectives in Gaza, including eliminating Hamas and ensuring the release of hostages.
I told Bibi, you do whatever you want because, my statement was they got to come back. Now, the reason I made that statement because they said they weren't going to deliver, they were not going to deliver the people that they said they were going to deliver, that they agreed to deliver. And they did agree to do that, but they broke that agreement. When I made the statement, they delivered everybody plus an American. Now, the good news is they look like they're in pretty good shape because the people from the week before didn't look like they were in good shape.
Netanyahu said Israel and the US share a common strategy on Gaza's future and hailed President Donald Trump's plan.
Why not give Gazans a choice? Everybody said this is the largest open-air prison in the world. Not because of us. We let people leave. In fact, if you want to know, over the last couple of years, 2 years I think, 150,000 Gazans left. You know how they left? Because they bribed their way out, not to us. They bribed their way out. We will not allow Syria to be used again as a staging ground for attacks against Israel. Now, all this has been done to date, but of course there remains a principal problem, and that problem is the source of all these attacks against us, all this aggression against us, and that source is one country. It's Iran.
Rubio went on to accuse Tehran of being behind every act of violence and everything that threatens peace and stability in the region.
The common theme in all of these challenges is Iran. It is the single greatest source of instability in the region. Behind every terrorist group, behind every act of violence, behind every destabilizing activity, behind everything that threatens peace and stability for the millions of people who call this region home is Iran. And by Iran, I mean the Ayatollahs. By Iran, I mean its regime. A regime who, by the way, its people don't support. The people of Iran are victims of that regime.
The meeting comes a day after 3 Israeli hostages were released by Hamas and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and detainees were released by Israel as part of a US-mediated ceasefire agreement. Trump's West Asia envoy, Steve Witkoff, said that the talks on Phase 2 of Israel-Hamas truce will continue this week. Israeli negotiators would travel to Cairo on Monday to discuss continuing the first phase of the ceasefire deal. Israel's Security Cabinet would also meet on Monday to discuss the second phase of the ceasefire deal. Bureau Report, DD India. Let's turn focus to Congo now. Chaos and uncertainty have gripped the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as M23 rebels backed by Rwanda seized control of the one more key city of Bukavu on Sunday. Now, this marks another devastating step in the ongoing conflict that has already claimed thousands of lives in the region. We have a detailed report ahead.
After weeks of advancing, M23 forces have seized control of Bukavu, South Kivu's capital, with little resistance from retreating Congolese troops. The rebel group is consolidating its position, and with Bukavu's fall, M23 now controls key areas around Lake Kivu, including Goma. The involvement of troops from Rwanda and Burundi has further escalated the already volatile situation.
We are all very, very concerned about an open regional war over Eastern DRC. And this, we reiterated the need for caution and the need for M23 and its supporters to disarm and withdraw from the Goma airport and other occupied territories.
The withdrawal of Congolese troops from Bukavu has caused a power vacuum, sparking looting and violence. While some locals see M23 as a stabilizing force, their advance raises concerns over further instability and human rights violations. The involvement of neighboring troops has heightened fears of a wider regional war, fueled by long-standing tensions dating back to the 1990s Rwandan genocide. The international community urges de-escalation, with the African Union and the UN warning of catastrophic consequences from a wider war. The UN estimates 350,000 displaced people, with thousands fleeing into neighboring Burundi, where authorities are struggling to accommodate the influx of refugees.
This new escalation should not become an open conflict that will disrupt and impact on humanitarian activities and the already very weakened social fabric in the region. The only way to solve the problem in Eastern DRC is for all parties to sit around the table.
The conflict with M23 has lasted more than 3 years, with Kinshasa accusing Kigali of wanting to control the mining and trade of minerals used in batteries and electronic equipments, and also of trying to appropriate land for agriculture, and it has but heightened fears of a breakup of DR Congo. With Aarti Rana's report, DT India.
A week before Germany's general election, tens of thousands of people joined a demonstration in Berlin against cooperation with the far right after US Vice President J.D. Vance called for Germany to drop the long-standing taboo. According to local police, around 30,000 demonstrators took part in the rally. In a press release, the organizers called for a decisive fight against right-wing extremism, racism, as well as a commitment towards social justice, fair working conditions, climate protection and responsible international politics. Speaking on stage, actor and musician Herbert Grönemeyer urged the crowd to go and vote in the upcoming elections, saying that German democracy was under attack from enemies of democracy who want to destroy liberal coexistence. Argentine President Javier Milei could face an impeachment trial in Congress after the libertarian leader touted a cryptocurrency which crashed soon after. Milei late on Friday posted on X recommending the little-known crypto coin Libra, which soon after shot up to nearly $5 a piece. Just hours later, the cryptocurrency plummeted to another $1. In fact, to under $1. Argentine's fintech chamber acknowledged that the case could potentially be a rug pull in which the developers of a crypto token draw legitimate investments, pumping up the value only to later dump their stake. Opposition lawmakers said that they would launch an impeachment request against Milei. Milei later said that he took down his post after becoming aware of the circumstances and that he had no relation to the cryptocurrency. Glitz, glamour and groundbreaking achievements. The 2025 BAFTA award ceremony had it all. In a night that celebrated the best of British and international cinema, several films and individuals took home the top honors. We get to the details.
The 2025 BAFTA Awards ceremony was a night to remember, with Conclave and The Brutalist tying for top honors, each taking home 4 prestigious awards.
The BAFTA goes to Conclave.
Conclave, directed by Edward Berger, won Best Film, while Berger paid tribute to the film's wonderful script and lead actor Ralph Fiennes. Meanwhile, Brady Corbett took home the Best Director award for The Brutalist, and Adrian Brody won Best Actor for his powerful portrayal of Hungarian Holocaust survivor. The BAFTA ceremony was not without its surprises, as Emilia Perez, a film that had been heavily favored to win, ended the evening with only 2 BAFTAs, including one for Zoe Saldana for Best Supporting Actress and another one in the category of Best Film Not in the English Language. The film's lead actor, Carla Sofia Gascon, had been embroiled in a scandal surrounding old controversial social media posts, which likely impacted the film's chances.
Mikey Madison.
In a heartwarming moment, Mikey Madison dedicated her Best Actress award to the sex worker community, saying they deserve respect and human dignity. The ceremony also saw a show of support for the LGBTQ community, with Zoe Saldana dedicating her award to her trans nephew and stating that she would always stand with the community. The 2025 BAFTA ceremony was a celebration of excellence in filmmaking, with a diverse range of winners and a clear message of support for the marginalized communities. Antara Sinha for DD India.
watching DD India Live. We're ready for a short break, but after the break, magnitude 4 earthquake hits Delhi NCR. Prime Minister urges people to stay alert for possible aftershocks. Amir of Qatar arriving in India today on a 2-day state visit. Sportspersons share powerful tips to handle exam pressure at the 7th episode of Pariksha Pe Charcha.
Timeless, boundless and infinite. The essence of faith. The soul of Sanatan culture. From the sacred confluence of Prayag, where divinity descends to earth. Witness the grandeur, the devotion, the magic. World's largest cultural and spiritual gathering, with over 450 million devotees expected to attend. Mahakumbh, India's greatest festival of faith. Exclusively on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. The Amir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, will pay a state visit to India on 17th and 18th of February. This will be the second visit of His Highness, the Amir of Qatar, to India. His Highness earlier visited India on a state visit in March 2015. The Amir of the State of Qatar will be accorded a ceremonial welcome at the forecourts of Rashtrapati Bhavan on Tuesday. During his visit, the Amir will hold discussions with President Draupadi Murmu, who will also host a banquet in his honour. He will also hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, covering various aspects of the bilateral relation. India and Qatar have deep-rooted historical ties of friendship, trust and mutual respect. In recent years, the ties between the two countries, including the areas of trade, investment, energy, technology, culture and people-to-people ties, have continued to strengthen. The 8th Indian Ocean Conference in Muscat, Oman, brought together critical states and principal maritime partners of the Indian Ocean region on a common platform. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar underscored India's commitment to strengthening regional cooperation and ensuring a stable and prosperous Indian Ocean region while delivering the keynote address. During his visit, External Affairs Minister held a bilateral meeting with the French Minister of the Sultanate, the Foreign Minister of the Sultanate of Oman, in which both the leaders reviewed the full spectrum of India-Oman relations. He also unveiled the specially designed logo celebrating 70 years of diplomatic ties between India and Oman. The logo symbolizes the long-standing partnership built on history, culture and strong people-to-people ties. On the sidelines of the conference, the External Affairs Minister also held bilateral meetings with foreign ministers of Brunei, Bangladesh, Iran, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mauritius and Nepal. Dr. S. Jaishankar's visit to Oman sets the further stage for strengthening bilateral relationship and regional cooperation. The national capital today woke up to tremors. An earthquake measuring 4 on the Richter scale hit Delhi NCR around 5:35 a.m. at a depth of 5 kilometers. The epicenter was reported to be near Delhi. The tremors, which lasted for a few seconds, were strong enough to be felt in residential areas, causing panic among the residents. Many people rushed out of their homes as a precaution. There have been no immediate reports of damage or casualties. Delhi NCR falls in seismic zone 4, making it prone to moderate to strong earthquakes. With Rajiv Kumar's tenure as the Chief Election Commissioner ending on February 18th, Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led Selection Committee will meet on Monday to choose a new head for the poll body. The high-level panel includes Home Minister Amir Shah and Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, and would choose the new CEC from a panel of 5 names proposed by the Search Committee headed by Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal. The CEC and election commissioners will be appointed from among the persons who are holding or have held a post equivalent to the rank of Secretary to the Government of India, and will be persons of integrity with knowledge and experience in management and conduct of elections. Mahakumbh 2025 in Prayagraj has drawn an overwhelming number of devotees to the sacred Triveni Sangam, the confluence of Ganga, Yamuna and the mystical Saraswati rivers. Displaying unwavering faith and devotion, more than 50 crore pilgrims have already taken the holy dip, seeking spiritual purification and blessings. Even after the completion of the three main Amrit Snans, Makar Sankranti, Mauni Amavasya and Basant Panchami, the enthusiasm of pilgrims remains undiminished. People from across India and the world continue to arrive daily, making Mahakumbh a global spiritual spectacle. The Mahakumbh 2025 is not just a religious gathering, but a reflection of the rich spiritual heritage and enduring faith of millions. As the sacred waters of Triveni Sangam witness history, the event continues to inspire devotion, unity and cultural pride. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India now. The city of Pune in the Indian state of Maharashtra continues to bear the brunt of GBS. As per the press note released by Integrated Disease Surveillance Program of the Maharashtra government's public department, GBS, an autoimmune disorder which attacks the peripheral nervous system, has affected 181 people so far. Additional 27 cases are suspected of being infected with GBS. Indian Navy's first training squadron comprising of INS Sujata and ICGS Veera engaged in professional exchanges at Cambodia's Sihanoukville port. The visit included meetings with local officials, cross-training, sports events and a handover of a small arms simulator to the Royal Cambodian Army. The Ministry of Ayush has announced that nominations are open for the 2025 Prime Minister's Yoga Awards. These awards honor those who have made significant contribution in promoting yoga. The winners receive a trophy, a certificate and 25 lakh rupees. The applicants must be at least 40 years old with 20 years of yoga service. Nominations can be submitted on the MyGov platform by 31st of March. Chennai recorded a significant increase in migratory bird numbers this season with over 1 lakh birds observed. This is more than double the previous highest count in 2019. The migratory season from November to March usually sees around 25,000 birds at Palikarnal marshland, but this year the number far exceeded the past records. Our sportspersons inspire us with their resilience, focus and winning mindset. The 7th episode of Pariksha Pe Charcha, legendary athletes Marikom, Suhas Yathiraj and Avni Lekra shared tips on handling exam pressure. Speaking to exam warriors, Marikom recalled how she fought against all odds to become a world champion multiple times, not just for herself but to empower women across the country. Quoting Prime Minister Narendra Modi's book, she said, "Be your own anchor," emphasizing that her 20-year journey as a girl, a wife and a mother is the proof that determination and resilience lead to success.
I just want to prove myself, not only for myself as well, for the whole girl, for the whole woman in our country. ऐसे करके कितना साल में एक बार नहीं है, 2 बार नहीं, 3 बार नहीं है, कितना बार वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बन के देश के लिए नाम रोशन किया। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, उसका बुक में भी एक लिखा गया है, बी योर ओन एंकर। और ये 20 साल का जर्नी मैंने लड़की होने का और वाइफ होने का और एक माँ होने का मैंने प्रूव करके दिखाया।
While Suhas Yathiraj shared insights on how to overcome fear during the examinations.
Mind is your greatest friend and your greatest enemy. हम जब परीक्षा लिखने जाते हैं, वो जिंदगी की कोई परीक्षा हो, स्पोर्ट्स की हो, ओलंपिक्स हो, पैरालंपिक्स हो या 10th की हो, 12th की हो, कोई भी परीक्षा, नर्वस एनर्जी तो हर एक इंसान के अंदर होती ही है। द लेसन इज, आप अगर डर छोड़ोगे फिर आप अपनी नेचुरल गेम खेलोगे।
Paralympian Avni also did a small meditation with the students to rewire their brains for different situations. She said failure is a bigger part of success and be kind.
हम डरते उन चीज़ों से जिनके बारे में हमें नॉलेज नहीं होती, तो मैंने एक एक करके नॉलेज गेन करनी शुरू करी कि ये मुझे पढ़ना है, ये मुझे सीखना है, इम्प्रूव करना है मेरी टेक्निक में। और फिर ऐसे करते करते मेरा जो डर है ना, वो धीरे धीरे कम होता गया। कभी कभी ना कंसिस्टेंसी बहुत मैटर करती है चीज़ों के लिए। अगर आप रोज आधा घंटा 1 घंटा पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, 1 घंटा पूरा फोकस के साथ करोगे तो आई थिंक आपको वो ज़्यादा दिमाग में रहेगा। ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेज होती हैं, अगर आप वो करते हो तो आपका ना जो हार्ट रेट है वो भी थोड़ी काम होती है और आप एक चीज़ पे ध्यान दे पाते हो।
All right, on those tips, we end this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.